My name is Melissa, and I'm about to tell you how I sent my own mother-in-law to prison. Before you judge me, let me explain what she did to my daughter. Emma's been having nightmares again, I told my husband Jake one morning as we got ready for work. Third time this week. Kids have nightmares, Mel, he said, adjusting his tie. It's normal. But she keeps saying she's scared of Grandma Patricia's house. She cries every time I mention your mom babysitting. Jake sighed. My mother adores Emma. You're overthinking this. Am I? Because yesterday Emma told me she doesn't want to go to the dark place anymore. What dark place? I don't know, Jake. That's what worries me. Did you ask her what she meant? I tried. She just started crying and said Grandma told her not to talk about it. Maybe she's just being dramatic. 4-year-olds have active imaginations. Or maybe your mother told her to keep secrets. That's exactly what abusers do, Jake. He turned to me sharply. My mother is not an abuser. Don't say things like that. Then explain the nightmares. Explain why our happy daughter comes home from your mom's house and won't speak for hours. My sister Sarah called that afternoon. Have you considered installing a nanny cam? She asked. You think I'm being paranoid? I think you're being a good mother. Trust your instincts, Mel. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Jake thinks I'm crazy. Jake loves his mother. Sometimes love makes us blind to the truth. That evening, I ordered a small camera disguised as a teddy bear. When it arrived 2 days later, I placed it on Emma's bedroom shelf at Patricia's house, angled toward the closet where Emma kept mentioning. Jake, I installed a camera at your mom's house, I told him that night. You what? Melissa, that's insane. You're spying on my mother? I'm protecting our daughter. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize, but if I'm right... You won't be right, he interrupted. My mother would never hurt Emma. How can you be so sure? Because she's my mother. I know her. Do you? Because I'm starting to think we don't know her at all. 3 days later, I sat at my desk during lunch and opened the Nanny Cam app. I scrolled through the morning footage and my blood ran cold. I watched Patricia grab Emma's arm roughly. Stop crying right now. I want Mommy, Emma sobbed. Your mother spoils you rotten. You need to learn discipline. Please, Grandma, I'll be good. You're going in timeout until you can behave. Then Patricia opened the closet door, pushed Emma inside, and locked it from the outside. I could hear Emma's terrified screams through my phone. Let me out. It's dark. Grandma, please. You'll stay in there until you learn to obey me, Patricia said coldly. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped my phone. I kept watching. Emma was in that closet for 47 minutes, crying and banging on the door. When Patricia finally opened it, Emma was hyperventilating. Have you learned your lesson? Yes, Grandma, Emma whimpered. I'm sorry. Good. Now go wash your face and don't tell your mother about this. She wouldn't understand proper discipline. I immediately called Sarah. You were right. Oh God, Sarah, you were right. What happened? She locked Emma in a closet for almost an hour. I have it all on video. Call the police right now, Mel. Jake will never forgive me. Jake needs to see what his mother really is. Your daughter's safety comes first. What if he doesn't believe the video? What if he thinks I edited it or something? Then you show him the raw footage with timestamps. Mel, you can't protect his feelings right now. Emma needs you. I downloaded all the footage from the past 3 days. There were 5 more incidents. Patricia had been locking Emma in that closet every time she babysat, sometimes for over an hour. When Jake came home, I was waiting with my laptop. Sit down. You need to watch something. Melissa, I'm tired. Sit down. Something in my voice made him obey. I played the videos without commentary. I watched the color drain from his face. That's not possible. That's your mother. That's what she's been doing to our daughter. Oh my God, he whispered. Emma's nightmares. The dark place. She's been terrorizing our 4-year-old child, Jake. I'm calling her right now. He grabbed his phone. No, we're calling the police. She's my mother. And Emma is our daughter. What would you do if this was anyone else, if a daycare worker did this? He stared at the screen where the video was paused on Emma's terrified face. I'd want them arrested. Exactly. The next morning, Detective Morrison arrived at our house. Mrs. Anderson, I understand you have video evidence of child abuse? Yes, multiple incidents over 3 days. I showed him everything. He watched silently, his jaw tightening. How old is your daughter? 4. She just turned 4 last month. And the woman in the video? My mother-in-law, Patricia Anderson. She's been our regular babysitter for 6 months. Has she ever shown signs of aggression before? Jake spoke up. Never. I've known my mother my entire life. She was strict when I was growing up, but nothing like this. Strict how? Detective Morrison asked. Timeouts. Lots of rules. She didn't tolerate crying or what she called emotional manipulation. Did she ever lock you in rooms? Jake hesitated. Yes, my bedroom, sometimes for hours. But she said that was normal. Abuse often escalates, Detective Morrison said. Mr. Anderson, I need to ask, were you subjected to similar treatment as a child? Jake went pale. She used to lock me in my room for hours. I thought that was normal. It wasn't normal, the detective said gently. What your mother is doing is criminal child abuse. I'm going to need copies of all this footage. I handed him a USB drive. Already prepared. There are 5 incidents total. Timestamps and dates are all logged. You've been thorough. I'm a paralegal. I know how evidence works. That'll help. The district attorney will want to speak with you both. When? I asked. Probably today or tomorrow. This is serious, Mrs. Anderson. Your footage shows clear criminal behavior. Detective Morrison nodded approvingly. I'm going to consult with Child Protective Services in the district attorney's office. Don't contact Patricia yet. We need to handle this properly. After he left, Sarah came over with her husband, Tom. How are you holding up? I keep thinking about how many times this happened before I installed the camera, I said, starting to cry. What kind of mother am I? The kind who trusted family, Sarah said firmly. The kind who acted the second you knew something was wrong. You're protecting Emma now. That's what matters. Tom added, You're doing the right thing, Melissa. This is hard, but it's necessary. What if the family turns against us? Jake asked. My sister, my aunts, they all adore Mom. Then they're choosing to protect an abuser over a child, Sarah said. That says everything about them. My phone rang. Patricia. I let it go to voicemail. She's called 6 times today, Jake said. She wants to know why we won't bring Emma over. Detective Morrison said not to contact her. The voicemail notification pinged. I played it on speaker. Jake, honey, it's Mom. Why haven't you called me back? Is Emma okay? I miss my grandbaby. Call me. She sounds so normal, Jake said quietly, like she's actually concerned. That's what makes it worse, Sarah said. She doesn't think she did anything wrong. 2 days later, attorney Lisa Chen sat across from us in her office. I've reviewed the footage. This is clear-cut child abuse. The district attorney is filing criminal charges. What happens now? I asked. Patricia will be arrested and charged with multiple counts of child endangerment and abuse. Given the evidence, the DA is confident about securing a conviction. How long could she go to prison? Jake asked. Each count carries up to 5 years. With multiple incidents and the victim being so young, she's looking at significant time. Jake put his head in his hands. This is my mother. Your mother committed serious crimes against your daughter, Lisa said bluntly. I understand this is painful, but Emma's well-being must be your priority. It is. I never thought my own mother... I took his hand. Neither did I, Lisa continued. I'm also filing for a permanent restraining order. Patricia will be prohibited from any contact with Emma, and we can extend that to include both of you if you want. Yes, I said immediately. I don't want her anywhere near my family. What about Jake's other family members? Tom asked. Can they still see Emma? That's up to you, Lisa said, but I'd be cautious. Anyone who defends Patricia's actions shouldn't have unsupervised access. Detective Morrison called a week later. We're executing the arrest warrant this afternoon. I wanted to give you a heads up. Do we need to be there? No, but Patricia will likely call you afterward. Don't answer. Let her go through her attorney. But Patricia didn't call. She showed up at our door at 8 p.m. What is going on? She demanded when Jake answered. The police arrested me. They said I abused Emma. I stepped beside Jake. Because you did. We have video. Video? What video? The nanny cam footage showing you locking our 4-year-old daughter in a closet repeatedly. Patricia's face changed. That wasn't abuse. That was discipline. You locked a child in a dark closet for almost an hour while she screamed for help. That's torture. She needed to learn respect. You're too soft on her, Melissa. You're raising a spoiled brat. Jake's voice was ice. Get out, Mom. Jake, honey, you understand, don't you? You turned out fine. I turned out traumatized. I spent years in therapy dealing with the way you raised me. I did my best. You terrorized me, Jake shouted. And then you did the same thing to my daughter. I was trying to help. Emma's always crying, always wanting her mother. She needs to be tougher. She's 4 years old, I yelled. What is wrong with you? Patricia pointed at me. This is your fault. You turned my son against me. You put cameras in my house. The camera was in Emma's room, where you locked her in a closet, where you committed child abuse. I want to see Emma. I want to explain. You're never seeing Emma again, I screamed. Do you understand? Never. Detective Morrison appeared on our porch. Mrs. Anderson, you're violating your bail conditions by being here. I came to talk to my son. You were ordered to have no contact with this family. You need to leave now, or I'll take you back into custody. Patricia looked at Jake desperately. Tell them, honey. Tell them I'm a good grandmother. You hurt my daughter, Jake said quietly. You're not a good anything. How dare you, after everything I sacrificed for you? Leave, I shouted. Get away from my family. 2 uniformed officers escorted Patricia off our property. She screamed the entire way. You'll regret this. You're destroying this family. Jake, don't let her do this. After they left, Jake collapsed on the couch. Did that really just happen? She's completely delusional, Sarah said from the kitchen where she'd been waiting. She genuinely doesn't think she did anything wrong. That's what scares me most, I admitted. She'd do it again in a heartbeat. She won't get the chance, Tom said firmly. The law's on your side now. The trial lasted 3 days. The nanny cam footage was played for the jury. Several jurors were crying by the end. Patricia's attorney tried to argue it was traditional discipline. The prosecutor demolished that defense. This is not discipline, she told the jury. This is a grown woman terrorizing a preschooler. Listen to that child's screams. Watch her grandmother's cold indifference. This is child abuse, plain and simple. Emma's pediatrician testified about the emotional trauma. Emma developed severe anxiety, nightmares, and showed signs of PTSD, all consistent with sustained psychological abuse. The prosecutor asked, in your professional opinion, what would have happened if this abuse continued? Long-term psychological damage, trust issues, anxiety disorders, possible developmental delays. The impact of this kind of trauma on a 4-year-old can last a lifetime. Jake testified about his own childhood. My mother used isolation as punishment constantly. I thought it was normal until I started therapy at 25 and learned it was emotional abuse. Did she ever apologize? The prosecutor asked. No, she still insists she did nothing wrong, that I was too sensitive. When I testified, I looked directly at Patricia. I trusted you with my daughter. You betrayed that trust in the worst possible way. You hurt an innocent child who loved you. Patricia's attorney cross-examined me. Mrs. Anderson, isn't it true you and Patricia had disagreements about parenting? We had different styles, yes, but this isn't about parenting styles. This is about criminal abuse. You didn't like how she disciplined Emma, correct? Locking a child in a closet isn't discipline, it's torture. Patricia showed no remorse. Even when the verdict came back, guilty on all counts, she looked defiant. The judge sentenced her to 8 years in prison. Mrs. Anderson, your actions were calculated, repeated, and caused serious harm to a vulnerable child. You've shown no remorse or understanding of your crimes. This court hopes you'll use your time in prison to reflect on the pain you've caused. Patricia was also prohibited from ever contacting Emma, me, or Jake again, a permanent restraining order. As they led her away, she glared at me. This isn't over. But it was over, completely. 3 months later, Emma's nightmares finally stopped. She's been in therapy and she's healing. She's a happy, bubbly 4-year-old again. Jake's been in therapy too, processing his own childhood trauma. He told me last week, I'm sorry I didn't believe you at first. You saved Emma from what I went through. We saved her together, I said. His sister called once, angry that I'd destroyed the family. I told her the truth. Patricia destroyed this family the moment she decided to abuse her granddaughter. I just made sure she faced consequences. She hung up. We haven't heard from her since. I learned something important through this nightmare. Trust your instincts as a parent. If something feels wrong, investigate. Don't let anyone, family, friends, anyone, make you doubt your concerns about your child's safety. Patricia tried to appeal her sentence. The appeal was denied. She'll serve every day of those 8 years, and she'll never have access to my daughter again. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I hadn't installed that camera. How long would the abuse have continued? How much more trauma would Emma have endured? I don't regret a single decision I made. Emma's safety will always come first, even when that means sending a grandmother to prison. Justice isn't about revenge. It's about protecting the innocent and holding abusers accountable, no matter who they are. Have you ever discovered someone you trusted was hurting your child? What would you do if you found out a family member was secretly abusing your kids? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.